Sergeant David Miles had worn the U.S. Army uniform for 12 years, surviving 3 tours overseas. On this warm Saturday afternoon, he wasn't in combat boots or body armor. He was in his pressed dress uniform, medals polished, heading to the town square where the community planned to honor him. He had barely locked his car on Main Street when a police cruiser screeched to a halt beside him. 2 officers jumped out. "Stop right there," one barked, hand hovering over his holster. David froze, confused. "Can I help you, officers?" "You match the description of a robbery suspect," the taller one said, eyes lingering on David's skin rather than the rank on his chest. Before David could explain, the shorter officer spun him around, wrenching his arms back and snapping on handcuffs so tight they cut into his wrists. "I'm a U.S. Army sergeant," David said, calmly holding up his military ID, but they didn't bother to look. Around them, bystanders pulled out their phones. Some shouted, "Check his uniform! He's not your suspect!" But the officers ignored them. "You're making a mistake," David said evenly, his training keeping him composed. "That's for us to decide," the taller cop sneered. David drew in a slow breath. "Fine. Then I'd like to make one phone call." They laughed but tossed him his phone. Without hesitation, David dialed his commanding officer, a man who happened to be close friends with the town's police chief. Minutes later, the wail of another siren cut through the crowd. A black SUV rolled up and outstepped the police chief, his expression thunderous. "Release him now." The officers froze. "Chief, we thought—" "You thought wrong," the chief snapped. "You handcuffed a decorated U.S. Army sergeant in full uniform. No probable cause, no respect, and now 5 witnesses and 3 recordings to prove it." The handcuffs clicked open. David flexed his sore wrists, his eyes meeting each officer's. His voice was quiet, but every word carried. "I fought overseas for this country. I shouldn't have to fight for dignity in my own." The chief turned to the crowd. "You'll all hear about disciplinary action soon." And they did. Both officers were suspended by nightfall. Within a week, they were gone from the force. As David finally walked toward the square, applause erupted. The moment wasn't just about a soldier being freed. It was about a town standing up to prejudice. And proving that accountability could start with one phone call.